Brad Waller here again in my 1967 Chevelle. I just came to the market. I bought a prime rib roast. I don't cook a lot, but one of the things I like to do a couple times a year when they go on sale is buy a prime rib and cook it. Now, cooking can be a lot like chemistry. If you apply the scientific method and do the same thing every time, you can improve it every time until you've caught something that's just about perfect. And that's what I've done. I've experimented with a few recipes over the years, and I have now settled on a technique which is a low and slow. There seems to be two schools of thought for doing a prime rib. One is you start off at like 500 degrees or as hot as your oven can get, and either you cook it for like 5 or 10 minutes a pound and then leave the oven off for a couple hours, or you cook it for like 10 or 15 minutes and then you turn the oven down to 325 and you cook it for a couple hours. But the other method that I came upon, it just makes more sense to me and it's turned out better. It's you just put it in at the oven at a low temperature, like 225 degrees, and you keep it in there until it gets to just about the temperature you want it to be. You take it out of the oven, you put your oven up to max, and then you put it back in for 5 to 10 minutes to crisp the outside of the roast. And what that does is, if you think about it, when you cook your roast, the heat's going from the outside into the middle. And so you expect that what's going to happen is that the outside's going to get hotter than the inside. You know, think about it. It can't get to the middle as fast. So the hotter your oven, the bigger the differential between the outside and the inside is. And if you want your roast to be cooked perfectly, evenly throughout the whole roast, the only way to do that is to bring it up to temperature either from the inside at the same time as the outside, which is possible. There are ways of doing it, like driving a heated metal spike through the middle that actually also brings the heat up, but that's getting really weird. Or heating it up as slowly as possible so that in the time that the outside goes up 10 degrees, the inside goes up 9 degrees or 10 degrees if possible. The ideal would be it just goes up exactly evenly. And so the way that I've been doing that is I bought a dual probe thermometer set from Amazon. You can get it wherever, but it's a dual probe thermometer set. So there's one probe that tells you your oven temperature, and the other probe tells you your meat temperature. Now, if you don't know your oven temperature, how are you supposed to do anything? And how are you supposed to make it repeatable? My method can go from oven to oven because I've got that. If you go to a new oven's going to be off by 25 degrees or more. So you could go from one house, get a new house, and go to that new oven and say, it works just perfectly, 15 minutes a pound for X period of time, and it works out perfectly. You go to your new oven, you do the same thing, and it comes out awful, and it's been overcooked because that oven's 25 degrees warmer. So for that reason, you need that dual probe. So you have your temperature of your oven and your temperature of your meat. If you have your temperature in the meat, it helps to offset some of the variability, but by having them both, it makes it a lot easier. I just think it works better. So I put the temperature in the middle, and over the years I've decided what the temperature is for the way I like my meat. If you like your meat more rare or more well done, you're going to come up with a different temperature, but the temperatures are all well known. 130 to 135 degrees is usually the range most people get it. 130 is kind of on the rare side. 135 is medium well, probably medium. I like it about, I think it's 132 is probably where I stop cooking. But you can go up to like 140 if you like your meat brown and dry, or medium well, or however you like it. But I don't know if I'll do a video on my cooking, or I'll just do some stills and turn it into video, how I'll do that. But a couple days from now, that's all I'm going to be doing. Is I'm going to be cooking my prime rib low and slow. My oven's going to be in the 200 to 225 degree range for as long as it takes for the meat to get to the temperature that I want it to take. Pull it out, get the oven hot as I can get it. I was thinking about getting a propane torch with a diffuser on it and just using that to crisp the outside, because that's all I'm trying to do, is just trying to crisp the outside. You don't want to cook anything. So if it's in the broiler in that 500 plus degree oven for more than 10 minutes, you're starting to cook the outside and brown deep into the meat. You don't want to brown more than 1/8 of an inch in, really. So that's it. That's what I'll be doing. And maybe I'll report back on it, and maybe I'll just eat it and enjoy it myself. Alrighty, Brad Waller, over and out.